Welcome to Lawyers Who Care, the video show podcast that highlights attorneys that go above and beyond for their clients. And on each episode, we will meet a new lawyer and they will share stories about when they did go beyond legal counsel for the benefit of their client. My name is Andrew Samalin. I'm the principal of Samalin Wealth, a nationally recognized wealth management firm for lawyers, law firms, and their clients. And let's learn from attorneys today. My guest is Alicia Morgan. She is an attorney with Immigration Lawyers in Miami, Florida. Her practice focus is immigration law. And welcome, Alicia.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Andrew.
Great. So, Alicia, tell us about your firm.
So I practice in Miami, Florida, but we represent clients in all over the United States as well as in other countries. And we like to reunite family members who are separated and also keep families together. So we do all sorts of immigration, but primarily family-based and deportation defense for families. And we also do some employment as well, including investment visas like the E-2 visa.
And what brought you to that, or actually what brought you to the law generally?
So I think I knew from a very young age that I wanted to be a lawyer. Anytime I was in a situation at school that something wasn't fair to me, I had to be the one to stand up for someone else or to bring it to the teacher's attention, the injustice. So I think I knew early on that I wanted to do something where I could make justice happen. And then later, I think it was around the 7th grade that I figured out I wanted to be a lawyer. And in 9th grade, I started studying Spanish. So once I realized how much I loved the language and the culture, I knew I wanted to help Hispanics in some avenue. So once I got into law school, I realized there was kind of 2 avenues you could use your Spanish more or less, would be international and immigration law. And it's just a lot easier to practice immigration. So that's the way I ended up focusing my practice.
And tell us about the firm. I know that you had mentioned when we were starting that you had one particular experience that you wanted to share with everyone today. Maybe you can share about the firm and then you can tell us the story.
Sure. So my firm is, at this point, it's pretty small. It's just me and about 5 assistants. And we represent the clients in Miami as well as clients all over the country in deportation defense and family-based immigration. And then we do some other employment and investment visas as well. But this specific client was one of my first clients. And I'll change his name for the sake of the innocent. But his name, we'll just call him Mike. I was able to, he was a family friend, basically, of someone from the church. And they called me on a Saturday and let me know that he had been detained and that he was a nice Christian guy. And, everyone was really frazzled about what we could do because he had 2 young daughters and a wife who were dependent upon him. He was the family breadwinner. So I went to the detention center on a Saturday and was able to meet with him and talk to him and find out a lot about his situation. I learned that he had been a victim of a crime in the past. And even though he had come in unlawfully and he didn't have any family members or anyone who could petition him, he did qualify for this loophole in the law called the U visa because he had been a victim of a crime and he had been helpful in that investigation. So we went to work right away to get the police to sign that he had been helpful in that investigation. And then we were able to file a parole request for him to get out of detention, which was really great because a lot of people in his circumstance wouldn't necessarily qualify for bond. But because we kind of found this loophole that qualified for him, we got him out of detention. He wasn't detained that long overall, and we were able to get him back to his family. So fast forward, we applied for the U visa. It's a process that takes actually many years. It's around 5 to 7 years for that visa to become available. So he was kind of just with work permits for many years, and he was also in immigration court. So we're buying time until we could get him the U visa. And then after that, the U visa, it's a visa that you can get for a period of 4 years. But after the 3rd year, you can apply for the green card. So there was a hiccup, though, when we were applying for his green card. I reached out to the police. They have to recertify that the person was helpful in the investigation. And when I reached back out to the police, it was a new person in charge, and this person wasn't going to sign. And basically this guy said, we looked back through this paperwork and it's signed by an officer who signed a bunch of documents for the U visa that we decided later they didn't really qualify. So he wasn't going to sign the document again. And I knew that this was kind of going to be the dead end for my client. He didn't have another way to get a green card. He's still in deportation, proceedings, and we needed this signature in order to get him out of court. So I made a lot of frantic calls to the police and basically demanded a meeting with the chief, and he did set up a meeting with me. What happened was he missed that meeting, and I kind of treated him like he was like a guy who stood me up on a date, and I was like, I can't believe you did that to me. I kind of playing with him a little bit, but in any event, the rapport that I kind of built with him through emails and through calls and leaving each other voice messages, because we were kind of playing phone tag a while, was such that by the time I did finally get him on the phone, I was able to convince him to, at first I kind of begged him to listen to like some recordings and could we go back, and there was a language deficit. So the client didn't speak English very well at all at the time that he had this interview with the police. And we were able to use that language deficit to convince the police officer or chief, who's now in charge, to go ahead and give my client the benefit of the doubt. And he did let me know that it was basically because of my persistence that he was signing, and not necessarily that he would have done this for anyone else. So we were very grateful to the police chief. We sent him some muffins from a local bakery around here, and I hope that he knows that we were appreciative of his help. But it's that kind of a thing that you have to, I was able to tell the police, like, listen, you have to meet this guy and his family and his 2 little girls. They're so cute, because I knew his family. I was able to tell them about them. And that was kind of the difference. He was like, well, okay, then I think I made the right choice. He's a good guy. He goes to church and he has this beautiful daughter. So I'm going to go ahead and sign for your client. So fast forward, thank God we were able to get him out of deportation. They closed the court case. Now he has his green card, and his family is also with a green card based on the U visa. So it was a long story, but a happy ending.
Yeah, sounds like a great ending. So everyone, today my guest is Alicia Morgan. She's an attorney with Immigration Lawyers USA in Miami, Florida. She focuses her practice on immigration law. Alicia, so that people can get in touch with you, can you share us your phone number twice?
I sure can. It's 305-501-0783. 305-501-0783. And you can also reach out to us on WhatsApp if you have that. We have a team of my assistants can also respond to those messages to help you get scheduled. And right now we are giving free meetings for people who qualify for the U visa like this client, and also people who have family-based cases, fiance cases, citizenship, and green card renewal. So if you have any of those cases, we qualify for a free meeting, and otherwise we can schedule you for a paid meeting or an in-person meeting. We're happy to help you here in Miami, Florida.
Wonderful. Alicia, thank you so much. Everyone, this has been the Lawyers Who Care video show podcast that highlights attorneys that go above and beyond. If you're an attorney or know one that might be appropriate for it, please reach out to us at success@samalinwealth.com. That's success@samalinwealth.com. Alicia, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you.